Let's get it poppin'. Comedy Mushroom Cult Podcast. Here we are, once again. Oh man, we're popping it. We're locking it. We are on Fuego. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh man, here we are, ready for battle, ready to go. Only podcast that's recording while they're thinking about how they're gonna unclog their toilet. No, this is a good happy Thursday if you're listening on the day of recording. If not, happy whatever day of the week it is there. We're excited to be here at the Comedy Mushroom Cult Podcast, where you can find all the information on the wonderful host here, Ray Roberts. You can find everything you need to know on RayRobertsComedy.com. We got shows coming up. Maybe one close to you if you live in Milwaukee or Chicago or the middle of nowhere, Michigan, or Louisville or Alaska. We'll run through those real quick. 3/7, that is next Friday, not tomorrow Friday, next Friday. We'll be at the Lincoln Lodge. We'll also be at Blazed Bakery on the same night. Both those shows are at 9 o'clock, so pick one of them, and I'll be at both of them. I don't know, do either one. My friend will make more money if you go to the Blazed Bakery show. I'll probably look more impressive if you buy tickets to the one at the Lincoln Lodge. So I mean, you decide who you want to be more successful, me or my co-producer and good friend Devin Glass. But no, it'll be a good night of shows. 3/8, Saturday the 8th. Don't Tell Milwaukee. I believe that's at 8, 7, something like that. The 14th, Pi Day, at the Funny Ratio. That's the name of the show. It'll be at Surge Billiards in Chicago, Illinois. Then 3/21, that is March 21st, at Ethnology Distillation in Elk Rapids, Michigan. That's way north. So if you're looking for a reason to go to northern Michigan at the end of March, come see that show. I'm sure the tickets are available at their website. And then March 28th and 29th, I'm gonna be in Louisville, Kentucky, featuring there. I forget the name of the guy who it is. Sorry, I'm distracted. The cats decided now is when they've been like sleeping all morning and have decided that now is the time that they're going to pick on each other. And then after Louisville, literally the day after I'm done in Louisville, is when I'm flying out to Alaska. So that first week of April's in Alaska. So RayRobertsComedy.com for all the other dates. I've got stuff through March, April, June, stuff like that. Add me to your show if you're a comic and want somebody who's good on your show. And then buy stickers. Send me Venmo for stickers. Ray Roberts Comedy on that. Same thing on Cash App. If you want to send me on Cash App, or buy the T-shirt. You can get that through RayRobertsComedy.com. So at Ray Roberts Comedy on everything, especially the places where you can send money. So here we go on the thing. But no, I mentioned right before the podcast here, I always kind of try to figure out some way to like ease into the podcast because it's a weird time in history. We got a lot of shit going on. Like every day, just some sort of new thing is happening that we have to keep track of, and that's fun. I mean, it's interesting. I wouldn't say fun, but it's interesting. It keeps you on your toes. And I'm always a little worried because you don't want to like go right into the sad things or the bad things, or like you don't want to jump right into like an update. Like some people are mad that their life isn't that exciting, so I don't want to like jump right in and be like, this is the shows that I've been doing, these are the mics that I've been doing, this is what's up in my life, live vicariously through me. So you want to ease people in, be a little bit more relatable. Not everybody's this handsome and talented. Just watching these two idiots get ready to fight, but not really, is very fun. Hey, relax. All right? You can just cuddle. Be friends. This podcast is going to be featuring Anchovy Hopkins and Pete Wentz, so that's good. I can put them in this episode, which is always real funny when people listen to it because they think the real Pete Wentz is on it, which is kind of hilarious. My cat's name is Pete Wentz, and we have a cat named Anchovy Hopkins because whatever, we're stupid. Hey, welcome back, Green Drink. We've got vitamins, but no, I went to the restroom. I'm pooping a lot today because I got my Green Drink back. That clink is my glass filled with Green Drink. We got that back. I drank a French press full of coffee, drinking Green Drink. So we're clearing the system out, getting the sickness out of us. I sound better, I can already tell. But my throat's still a little wonky because we haven't been talking as much this week, and there's a lot of drainage going on. So I was evacuating my bowels before the show, and the toilet flushed a little wonky, and it's not like clogged because everything went down, but you know when like the toilet fills up and like it's just not draining that quickly, like you know it wants to, there's just like something in the way at some point, and you just kind of have to like flush it until it goes away. But then eventually you like run out of room in the toilet, and this just kind of happened. Like sometimes I think our plumbing system in this building's a little weird. So like it like wants to go, but not completely. And like the suction won't come back through it and go through, but like it'll still like slowly go down. So now like I thought I waited until it was empty enough to try to flush it again, but apparently not, because it flushed over the lip, which if it happens at a stranger's house, you might as well just call it in. You don't talk to those people anymore. But this is happening in my own home on a day where I already have to clean the bathroom anyway. So like, I mean, it's kind of all days for it to happen, this is probably the day for it to happen. Of all the times for it to happen, not really. Petey, be quiet. So it's not, of all the days for it to happen, it shouldn't. Or all the times, just because it's like, I don't know, inconvenient. It's just a bad time right before the podcast to get me a little frazzled. And it wasn't like a big, like panic to get it done. It was more just like it was more the time to do it. So, I don't know. Pete, knock it off, dude. The bathroom door is closed because there was a little bit of water on the ground and the toilet was all the way full, so I didn't want the cats in there fucking around. So now he thinks that there's a room that he can't go in, so now he's just going to be an issue. But no, what a week, what a time to be alive. I'm glad that I'm getting less sick, taking care of myself a little bit, actually helps, you know? Like, I don't do the most ever. I'm not, like, the most busy person in the world, but, like, traveling to 4 states in 2 days is maybe a lot. Doing open mics when I'm maybe a little too sick to do that and being out. And then, like, continuing to smoke weed while all of this is happening. Maybe isn't the best for my sinuses. So we've taken a couple of days off of smoking. We got Delta 9 gummies, which are like, I don't know, Delta 9. We're an anti-Delta 9 until Delta 9. If you're a Delta 9 company and want to sponsor the podcast, I like Delta 9 gummies. I don't like smoking Delta 9 because it like, I don't know, it's like smoking bad mids. Like, it's like you know when you like smoke like a blunt or like just a bad basically just like a blunt, or like somebody puts too much tobacco in it and like you're like, yeah, I'm a little high, or like it'll get you right to like that top and then it wears off instantly. That's fine with like with edibles. I don't mind on that. Like I ate like 75 milligrams of Delta 9 gummies last night because it gets you right to that peak and then like fizzles off instantly. So it's like basically all of it, but like it doesn't do it all the way. So I've been doing Delta 9 gummies the last couple of nights and it's been fine. I don't dislike the gummy aspect of it. It's just if I'm gonna smoke something, I want it to do anything, not like just like get me there and then like I don't want to have to hit an entire cartridge of Delta 9 to fall asleep at night. So I've been doing that with the gummies, and I took the night off of smoking, and now like I knew that I was turning the corner for real this time because I was real anxious last night. Not like real what's the word I'm looking for? Fidgety, restless. That's the word I was looking for. I was real restless last night, and that's when I know I'm really turning because I got that extra energy, and I was like, all right, I've dedicated to not going out to Mike's tonight because I need to just like squash this thing. And then now I'm like feeling bad about it because I'm healthy enough that I could have gone out there and done it. Because I mean it's like talking for like a few minutes, not like doing a bunch of physical labor or anything like that. So like it's not super taxing, but like you don't wanna like overdo it. And then I like knew that I made the right choice to stay in because that means I'm like coming around that corner for sure. So that's finally helping. And that's going on. But like you heard me last week, I sounded like absolute dog shit. And like, I don't know, I ended up calling off work a couple days after I recorded last week because it was bad news bears and I just didn't feel good. And then I called off this past Monday and I got a text message that said I could come in a half hour later than usual. So I thought I was getting fired because that's how corporations like to do ya. They text you and they're like, hey, you can come in a little bit later than usual, and then they'll have you for a meeting and they don't want you like overlapping with the other people. So then they'll like send you home right after. I've never been fired from a job, but I've like seen enough people get fired from a job, and I know like their thing. Because when I worked at Generac, that would happen. Like when they would fire somebody, they would take them and then they like wouldn't let them come back to their desk. Like they would have somebody else pack it up and then like it's set up for you to come pick up your stuff. So like that's how that goes. And that's what I figured was gonna happen at this job. But then I showed up and they were like, hey, we love having you here. And like now they're gonna be more flexible to my schedule. So like I have to show up and like do my side stand-up wise. And that's also like part of why I was kind of a little wonky yesterday on like wanting to get shit done or like do more mics and whatnot, because like I was expecting like that comedy was gonna be, and comedy's number one anyways, like and that's what I told them after they were like, no, we love you, like we're not gonna fire you. And I was like, okay, well I thought it made a lot of sense to fire me, so like maybe I should step down to a different thing. And they're like, absolutely not, you're really good at I don't want this to sound like me just giving myself compliments, which this podcast half of the time is but sorry, I still have like a little bit going around, so I know that that's not good listening to hear me move phlegm around in my throat, and neither is pointing it out afterwards to make you think about it even more. But welcome to the podcast. But no, like they were like, yeah, we're not gonna let you quit because we like your work here, and just send us what your schedule, like send us what you can work. We need you on events days. We don't need you on the daily schedule work. So that was nice, like especially to go from like thinking you're gonna get fired, which is always awkward. Like it's not the, I mean, I'm not torn up. My one buddy at work was like, it sounds like you wanted to be fired, and I was like, well, it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. Like I would much rather not have to go to a job every day. Not every day, but I would much rather not have to go to a job. Like I've applied to a couple of like remote things, which would make my life a little bit easier, so I could do remote work and then just like work when I want to and when I need to, instead of like having to go on somebody else's schedule. Working on my schedule would be better, especially with my stupid stand-up stuff. Cause like where I'm at, I'm not like, it's like a very weird thing to explain to people, especially like if you're not involved in comedy, where it's like, I'm getting enough work where like it's annoying to have a regular schedule, but not enough work to like pay for everything. Like I can pay some of my bills, but like I'm also at that spot where like if I choose work over comedy, then I'm like undermining why I came here. And I'm getting offered stuff where it's like, well, this makes more sense to go to work. So like it's good where I can like make those choices and not have to like depend on shitty shows to pay my bills. But like it's also very annoying to have to be like, no, sorry, I have to work and I won't be able to like, excuse me, like this isn't the one, like this show isn't worth me being like, hey, can I leave early, and having to deal with that conversation. Like that's the weird spot where I have to like pick and choose when I'm going to do that. And like I kind of told work, and I have this week is like we're done with that. Comedy's number one, and like if I'm offered a 10-minute spot somewhere when there's an event, I have to take it. And it's annoying for me because like I'll pass up $150 to make $75 and do a show, which is like the math that you have to do, but it's also like rent's due. So it's like a very weird give and take, and they're gonna be very flexible with me until they're not. So that's very nice of them, and it's very cool to almost get fired and then not get fired. And it gives you like a rejuvenation, and it's a very good and like one of those like very fun parts of like why they like me to be here is because I'm not afraid to call out like asshole waiters and waitresses, wait staff people. And I was like, well, just so you know, the reason why I have no problem calling them out is because I'm not afraid to get fired. So like the biggest part, like the thing that you hate most, because they're like, we would love it if you were a little bit more dedicated, but whatever, we know like where your thoughts are at. And I was like, yeah, I mean, just to be upfront, the only reason why I'm like that to these people is I don't give a fuck if you fire me and find out like I'm doing this thing. Like I don't know. She like the one waitress is tried to get me fired last time by saying I was stealing. When like the most I've ever done is like taking a water bottle. Which like whatever. If you can't steal from like we're on record saying if you're not stealing from work, you need to steal from work. I'm sorry that this podcast is wonky today. All right, it's happening. It's like, it's coming out. It might be a shorter one. And I know I say that all the time, but like, I don't know. We're not completely in on it. And the biggest point, here's the problem with society today. Quality doesn't matter. It's like the quantity and like putting stuff out regularly. So like, that's all that matters. And like, I've completely switched up how I'm doing my reels on Instagram right now I'm not putting out any videos of me. If somebody does a video of me, if you want to see video of me doing stand-up, follow me on YouTube, at Ray Roberts Comedy. I'm not putting it on Reels anymore. I'm not putting it on TikTok because I don't have TikTok on my phone. I'm not putting it on anything anymore. I'm putting up transcript voice notes from me performing. That's the Reels you're getting. If I get a tape of it, it's going on YouTube, so you can follow me there, you can watch it there. Because I'm putting out quality shit, and the last thing I want to worry about is just putting out something to put it out, and hopefully it catches like the stupid algorithm. Especially now, when like the tech billionaires are literally running our government. We'll get to that soon in Hitler Watch, I'm sure. No, like that's kind of, I got a new sign. We went on Sunday, we went to a bookstore in Andersonville, and then we went to like they have like this little kitschy like white woman store, and then like this poster that's on here. It says "fuck off," and it's not even in a mean way. It's a very fun one, like encouraging employees and customers of like this fake like record company or whatever to fuck off, and like that's the only way that you can be free in this society is like literally fucking off when you're supposed to be working. So like. That's awesome. So that's kind of our thing here. Is we're just fucking off. Like, we're going to do it. We're going to do the work. We're going to do good work. And we're putting good shit out. But we're not playing by their rules anymore. Fuck them. Like, honestly. Because we're doing it. And if you don't like it, then fuck you too, I guess. I don't know. But you know when my ideas come out and somebody's like, actually, that might be a very interesting thing. That's when we might have a good idea. And we might see how that works. Because if you want to see me, come see me live. Or go on YouTube, because fuck Instagram and fuck Reels. It's just not worth going to that anymore. But whatever. I did get to do math last night. Or was it 2 nights ago? What day is today? Thursday. It was 2 nights ago. On Tuesday night, Ashley asked me to do a math problem for her after I was already on 50 milligrams of Delta 9 gummies. And I was very impressed like at first I didn't know how to formulate the word problem. It was like a percentage of students compared to what it is now versus what it'll be. And it took me about 15 minutes, but like, I don't know. I was in between realms at that point. Like, not only was I watching Game of Thrones, so like I was in between 7 to 8 different realms. Because I think Easteros, is it Easteros or West? I know it's Westeros. It could be East. Who cares? I know the East is like separate from Westeros, so I don't think that counts as the 7 realms. But whatever. So I was watching Game of Thrones. Either that or Lost. So like that, I was in between Living and Dead. Spoilers. But then like also on like 50 milligrams of Delta 9, which is not the same as 50 milligrams of regular. So we'll give you that. But I knocked it out of the park, and I was very proud of my brain because it was one of those like. I mean, obviously we haven't been drinking in a while, but like when you're like hammered and then something happens and like instantly sobers you up for a second. That's kind of, it took a second for me to like click into that. Like, okay, it's time to get shit done, which is very fun. It's like it's not like a real situation. It's not like the toilet overflowing. Like that's one where you click into like, okay, we gotta get a towel, we gotta get everything figured out. We're figuring out how to solve this problem. But it was math, and like, I don't know, when's the last time you tried to do math inebriated, when it had to do decimals and percentages? I was very impressed. Maybe not like that entertaining of a thing, or worth putting in a podcast for the rest of history, to find out, but whatever, who cares? We'll do Hitler Watch, I guess. We'll lump this all into Hitler Watch, 21-ish minutes into this. Wee woo Hitler Watch. It's getting weird out there. My favorite one, and this happened with Obama. This isn't 100% Hitler Watch, but it's very much like the people who told us that democracy was at stake are leaving us to fight it alone. Both Joe Biden and our girl Kamala Harris, have signed with CAA, for like, which is an agency for entertainment. I believe Obama's with CAA as well. I'm not 100% on that. But I mean, he produces Netflix documentaries now and voices science documentaries. As the first black president, the first real black president. Sorry, Bill Clinton. But like, as the first black president, he's voicing over Netflix documentaries. Like, he's fucking David Attenborough. And like, that's what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are doing. And signing with CIA. I want to know what they're doing. Like, they're gonna probably do like speaking tours, but like, about what? Like, Joe Biden, is he gonna speak about like ice cream and smelling small children's heads? Like, is that like, what? Is there a big market for that? I'm sure a bunch of fucking weird Democrats who like will see him as like the last bastion of like democracy, will go see him and Cam speak. You know, I should respect her more. She was the vice president, and failed no, do you know what? Fuck Kamala Harris. She like bullied her way into running for president and then botched it. And I know her people are part of that, but like, I don't know, right from the jump, like, they were just worried about the vibe and like dancing and smiling, and like, yes, queening our way to the top. Like, Coach Tim Walz, like, I want to know what agency he signed with, because he's not a CAA talent. At least Kamala Harris, who dated Tupac, so like, that's a really weird like angle, or not Tupac, sorry, Montel Williams. She dated Montel Williams, and then became like the prosecutor in like San Francisco or whatever the fuck, and then ended up being vice president after being a senator. Weird. Or maybe was Kamala a senator? Who cares? But like, she ends up running for president, you know, and it's, who knows? Like, you end up dating it almost shows that like anybody who ends up in politics now almost wanted to be famous in another way. Like, you don't just happen upon hanging out with Montel Williams and then like backdoor your way into like being the vice president. You wanted to be famous one way or the other, and like, politics was the way you could do it, which means you're smart. Like, I mean, you can't just like dummy your way into it, which I mean, apparently you can if you're the right people or have the right family name, but I don't know if Harris is the right family name, especially if you're black and Indian. I don't think like you're not gonna like nepotism your way into it. So like, however you gotta get there, you gotta get there. I would never fault her by like dating Montel Williams to get into the public eye. Like, who cares? But now you're married to Doug Emhoff. Wim Hof? Who cares? Wim Hof. Doug Emhoff. Who cares? He didn't make it. But no, he like fucking like now you're with CAA. Like, what television show are you gonna like start a podcast? Are you gonna be like Obama was with fucking Bruce Springsteen and do like some weird Americana podcast with Joe Biden and you remind him that it's what day it is? Like, is that what this is? Are they gonna go on tour together? But whatever. I don't know, man. All right, for real, Hitler Watch now. They're going to investigate Fort Knox. President Donald J. Trump and his cabinet met yesterday for the first time. And as far as I can tell, the meeting was led by Elon Musk, because every single person who came out of the meeting said that they framed how the president and Elon work together. Now, Donald Trump is not my president. I don't want him to be president, but he's at least elected in, where Elon Musk is not. So the fact that he's in a cabinet meeting, I don't like. The fact that people are like, well, yeah, they told us how they work together, and then Donald Trump brings that to the fucking cabinet. I don't like that at all. We're not answering to Elon Musk. We shouldn't be. Like, he shouldn't be in those meetings at all. Like, I can see if he's he's the world's richest man. That doesn't just happen. A lot of murder and slavery and stuff like that has to happen for you to become the world's richest man. And especially, like, now that he's, like, wearing all black and is, like, definitely coked out, at least. Like, his skin is pasty white. He looks like a ghost. And I'm also not even... Again, I'm not sure Donald Trump is even alive still. I feel like his presidential portrait was AI. It was definitely touched up digitally. I think that was an AI picture. Maybe he's there, but he's a puppet. But, like, I don't think... Elon being in there is not it. And, like, because, I mean, especially now, too, like, they're doing dumb, like, side quests. Like, they're going into Fort Knox to make sure all the gold is in there, because there's, like, a conspiracy theory that all the gold is out of Fort Knox. Which, like, cool, whatever. They're, like, those are fun conspiracy theories. It'd be nice to get to the bottom of that. Like, if they give it, like, what they're gonna do, and it's, like, it's a good playbook, they're gonna do enough to just, like, leak out a couple of things to keep things interested. They kind of did it with, like, the JFK thing. They kind of did it with aliens a little bit. Now they're doing it with Fort Knox. All these, like, old conspiracy theories that were, like, fun and, like, people got into. They're gonna, like, debunk them or, like, look into them to keep conspiracy theorists and shit on their side, to be like, see, he's keeping government honest. And then, like, they're gonna do shit like cut the fuck out of Medicaid, like they just voted to do the other day, and make everything more expensive for everybody, and fuck over people who can't afford medicine. They're gonna do that. They're actively undermining Social Security, and, like, they're gonna, like, root through and try to kick people off of that. And it's already a fucked up system. Like, most claims to get on Social Security are, unless you're, like, old and, like, age into it, they're like denied, and then you have to, like, go get a lawyer and, like, pay to go through it again, which is, like, wonky. So they have that. And then, like, my favorite one that I've been looking into today is this one's for you fucking weird gun nut losers, who voted him in and thought the Democrats were gonna steal your guns. Now they're trying to steal guns from people, which, like, fine. I'm not super... I think that there should be, like, stricter gun laws on the books, but I'm not, like, a big psycho, like, that there should never be guns. I think that it's important to be able to rise up against the government, especially, like, because when I moved to Wisconsin, right, the National Guard was there helping take care of COVID stuff. Went to Kent State, not a big fan of the National Guard, rooting around in my stuff here. So I went and bought a 12-gauge shotgun for home security. It was like a snub-nosed one, or like a shortened barrel, legal, not like not sawed off, but, like, bought it from a thing, because my thought was, like, all right, maybe I won't be able to take down the government with this home defense shotgun, but I can take down one on my way out. Like, I think you should be able to, like, at least put up a fight against the government. Like, you're going to lose. They have nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs. I'm fucking George W. Bush. They have nuclear bombs. They have fucking super soldiers that can like snipe ya. They fucking like they blow up fucking pagers and blow up half of Hamas. You know, like they have like shit like that we don't have. Like I'm researching how to make bombs out of nail polish remover, right? Like they've got like real bombs. So like they've got that. I'm not like a psycho that's like I should be able to have a tank if the government can have a tank. They're defending us, quote unquote, from like, I don't know, Russia, which I mean we're on their side anyways. North Korea, we're on their side now anyways. Because we want to call Zelensky a fucking dictator, and now we're like setting up some weird mineral rights thing. But whatever. And so like they're gonna do all of that, and so they're gonna be like, we're looking into Fort Knox because we want you to know whether the gold's here or not. Because gold's worth a lot of money right now because the government's in a fucking weird flux and like the world's going wonky. Like Germany, the second leading political party is like a far right party in Germany. Like that's never gone bad before. But then you have like they're looking into gold. Like missing gold while stealing people's guns, and like the way that they're doing it is like they're going after the mentally ill, which is like again, it's just like the fucking death camps or like the drug farms. Like it's on paper, like it's a great idea. If you're mentally ill and they have to like take you in, and you're released 24 hours later, you probably shouldn't get your gun instantly, but like the police have 72 hours to give you your gun back. They want to be able to go to the judge and be like, hey, he shouldn't get his gun back. I don't think that that's a bad idea. I don't like who's in charge of it and who's bringing it up. But I mean, it's a way that they're going to end up stealing people's guns because they decide who's mentally ill. And then they're going to come and take everybody's guns, and then it's going to be, I mean, it's already too late, but it's going to be too late. And like these fucking idiots in their stupid red hats they're going to be like, well, you know, like this is worth it. Like, so he's got an idea. Like he's gonna give us better guns. Like some dumb dipshit thing. They're gonna do on that. And then my favorite thing now too. I gotta keep drinking. Green drink. I didn't get flavored green drink this time because I felt like it might not be as good for me. It was also costing more money, and I think that like I need like this lasts longer. But the flavor once you have it, it was like a green apple, and now it's just like drinking a glass of ground up green stuff, which is like I guess the point and why I need vitamins. But like whatever, it's still not ideal. But now like they still want to go in and like reshape Palestine as well, and like he shared an AI. I didn't watch the whole video. I watched some of it, but it was made by AI. So it was like a kitschy, stupid bullshit thing. How they want to just like turn it into like a new vacation hotspot. And like, I don't know. It's just when we're siding with North Korea and Russia and China and we're fucking like saying that we're going to take over Canada and Mexico and we're like getting rid of, like we're stealing people. Like it's on its way, you know? We're going, like, not only is it, like, grasping at straws to try to, like, stay strong in, like, the global environment, it's just not a good look, and it's not good. And especially when, like, the world's richest man and, like, tech billionaires are behind it. Like, they're going to make the real world so terrible that we dive deeper into their stuff to like spend money on their dumb apps and live a fake life more than we already are. And it's just not good if you are a fan of reality and living in the real world. So, I don't know. I've been looking for a way to fight back. I think the way to fight back is not like quit giving them free entertainment. I mean, obviously it's a commercial. I have to put stuff out online for my dumb comedy career, but like we can fight back by putting out content in a weird way. A lot of people are getting rid of like streaming stuff. Like start reading books, you know? Like do it. Get back in a way that like they need. The only way that like consumerism works is if there are consumers to do it, and we need a big enough dent in our daily lifestyle to make that happen. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Smith with their white picket fence and 4.5 kids or 2.5 children, and their full-time job and good retirement and just wanting just like real family values and whatnot, they're not going to stop shopping at Walmart. They're not going to stop feeding their kids for a day. So it's like up to like the rest of us to do that. And I don't entirely blame them. So I mean, I don't think that like, and again, just like during election time, we're the weird ones. We're the ones that like want things to be different. Most people just want things to be stable. So like, it's up to us. Whatever that amount is, like 5%. I mean, if 5% of the citizenry got together, that's a pretty big dent. Because I mean, if a stock goes up 5% every year, or a company goes up 5% every year, or your portfolio is 5%, if I can guarantee you 5% growth year over year, you're probably going to take that. A lot of places will give you like a random 8% or whatever. But like a savings account at 5%, like get a CD right now and tell me that it's going to be over 5%, you know? So like, that's what, if we can mess with their shit by 5% every day, like that's 20 days until it's 100% different, you know? So I mean, it's doable and we can do it. So just live a real life, be real. Quit trying to win their game. We're not going to win their game, so quit playing it. We can make our own game. Make up different rules. Be nice to your neighbor. Be nice to the people online. It just happened in the Chicago comedy group. Some lady who does Nazi jokes and like is super racist. Like people piled on her and then they stopped her and got her shows canceled. Good. And then that pivoted into let's build each other up and be build the good voices, not just pile on the bad ones. Gross. I'm so sorry you had to hear that. That is bad podcasting. We're leaving it in. Fuck it. But that's the good. That's good. We pivoted to let's strengthen what we're doing instead of just shitting on what they are doing. So I mean, we can do that. Let's boycott. Let's get out of the way of the things. We don't need to give up. Yes, we need to give up some things. You cannot gain something without giving something up. There's no growth without sacrifice. That's true. That's fair. We're all in on that. But we don't have to give up everything to gain what we want. We just need to make some changes to make them hurt. Make big business realize that we're not going to deal with them running every aspect of our life. And if they're going to, we're going to make it difficult on them. Because eventually, their stock owners are going to want them to turn around. And that's who they answer to. They answer to money. And unless we're willing to give up money completely, we have to fucking play that game. We can throw a wrench in that game. It's not that hard. Buy 5% less things. Post 5%. Take the apps off of your phone. I did it. I'm still on it too much during the day, but take it off of your phone. You won't be on it as much. The attention economy, they want it in your brain. Take it off of your phone. You can still check it on your computer and shit. You can still be active in the world, but you don't have to be active on it every second of the day. Be on it 5% less, and that's going to make them lose their goddamn mind. We can do this. You can change 5%. It's doable. And I feel like we can. And I think that's going to be our new goal. So that's going to be, I don't know, that's going to be the podcast. That's going to be our call. If you made it this far in the podcast, thank you. Comment 5% underneath the post. Or no, 5% is probably going to be the name of the podcast. Comment Si se puede. Yeah, si se puede underneath the post. We're going to steal the Latin American rallying statement for our own cause. Because you know what, we want to. We're not stealing it. We're embracing it, and we're showing it the homage that it deserves. Because yes, we can change it, and we can do it. So yeah, just change a little bit, and we can fucking figure this out. So, si se puede underneath in the comments, or share it, and then put share the podcast, and put si se puede if you listen this far. But RayRobertsComedy.com, at RayRobertsComedy on everything else. Thank you guys so much, and have a blessed day. Goodbye.